Are you headed to the Port of Galveston for your next cruise? Well, stop. There's 10 things that you need to know before you take your next cruise out of the Port of Galveston. Hello everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Cynthia, your host, and today it's all about the Port of Galveston. So we have to talk about this port. You know, there's big things happening down in the Port of Galveston. On one of my previous videos, I've mentioned what's coming for the Port of Galveston. They have over $53 million of upgrades coming for their infrastructure and to build it up so that they can host the world's largest cruise ships, like the Allure of the Seas, which currently sails out of Galveston, and the very soon coming Carnival Jubilee. So let's talk about it. Now, very first, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Galveston. Galveston is the fourth largest cruise port in the United States. It has 32 miles of beaches, and Galveston is located approximately 50 miles from Houston. Galveston is a Gulf Coast barrier island down in the south of Texas, and the population for Galveston at the last census taking in 2021 was just over 53,000 residents. There is so much that you would be able to do and see right there in Galveston, Texas, even before or possibly after your cruise. They have entertainment, shopping, food, hotels. There is so much to do and see. You could certainly spend several days before and several days after your cruise just visiting this wonderful Texas island. So let's now talk about which cruise lines sail out of Galveston. Currently, as of the making of this video, Carnival Cruise Lines, Royal Caribbean, Disney, Princess, and the soon coming Norwegian all sail out of Galveston, Texas. And these are different types of cruises, meaning they go to the Bahamas, the Caribbean, they go transatlantic, different cruises all out right there of the Port of Galveston. So let's talk about some of the logistics that can possibly be a nightmare getting to the Port of Galveston. There are two direct roads that connect you over to the main island of Galveston. The first would be the George and Cynthia Mitchell Memorial Causeway on the north side of the island, and then the second is the San Luis Pass Bridge, which is in the south side of the island. Now, driving in from like Dallas or Houston, you're going to take I-45 all the way, which runs all the way onto the island, and this is where that traffic comes into play. Not only can it be bumper to bumper traffic heading in or out of Galveston, but also there seems to be many different types of construction, lane closures. It's just, well, it can just be very difficult to get in. This is why we always say to take your time and make sure that you're not pressing or rushed to get over to the island, but you've given yourself at least a day ahead of time, because the traffic, the congestion, the road closures and construction, well, it can really take a toll on the time getting over to the island. If you are flying into Galveston, you're going to take one of two airports. There are two airports, and they are both located in Houston. The closest airport to Galveston is William P. Hobby Airport, and that's in the southern sector of Houston. It's about 40 miles, 45 miles away from Galveston. Then the other airport that is located there in Houston is George Bush Airport, and that is the larger of the two airports in Houston. It's approximately 70 or 80 miles away. Now, I did some price comparison to see how much it costs to get from either one of these airports to the Port of Galveston. And there are several different ways that you can make this happen. You could possibly book that transportation on your cruise line of choice. And for instance, I have here a showing of what it would be for Carnival. So right now here, it's showing about $50 each way for shuttle pickup from Carnival Cruise Lines to get you over to the Port of Galveston. If you're looking at taking a taxi, what I found with my research was approximately $100 to take the taxi from Houston Hobby Airport, and approximately $150 to take a taxi, the cost of a taxi from George Bush Airport. Of course, make sure you do your own research. I went online and checked some sources to find what those taxi fares are. That's probably going to change based on, availability and the time of day, but this is what we found today. Now, what if you're looking to do a ride share, such as an Uber or Lyft? At the making of this video, what I found was approximately $70 to $75 if you're going from Houston Hobby, and approximately $85 to $90 if you're leaving from George Bush to get you over to the Port of Galveston. Now I want to talk a little bit about cruise port parking. If you have a vehicle, let's say you're driving in or you have a rental car and you need to park that vehicle there somewhere safe and secure for the duration of your cruise, how much are you looking to spend? Well, there are several cruise port parking, and I'm going to put those lists right up here so that you can take a look. And there could possibly be even more than these, but these are the ones that I found during my research. And when it comes to parking, you can of course do covered parking, which will cost you more, or if you're just out on a lot that's uncovered, that is a little less expensive. Both of these lots are watched and manned and secured. So taking a look at the options, we found parking between $16 to $19 if you use an uncovered lot, and we found parking starting anywhere between $22 up to about $25 per day if you're looking for covered parking. Now, of course, these can constantly change, and I will put the links so that you can take a look at all of these different parking options to leave your car there for your cruise ship. I'll leave that down in the description below. And there's also something called galvestonexpress.com, and here's the information for that. I thought that was pretty interesting. Another option to get you from that airport to the Port of Galveston. And here is the information here, and of course I will drop that information also down. The information for that, I'll link it down below in the description. Now let's talk about the cruise terminals there in Galveston. All of these cruise terminals are located along Harborside Drive. There are 3 cruise terminals at the Port of Galveston, with one being that very new and very beautiful Royal Caribbean terminal that was recently opened. So terminal number 1, which is now called Terminal 25, is on the eastern part of the island, and this, for the majority and for the most part, is the terminal for Carnival Cruise Lines. We also have Terminal 2, which is now called Terminal 28. This was formerly the Royal Caribbean Cruise Pier, but Royal Caribbean has made this beautiful new one. So this is now where all of the other ships that are not Royal and are not Carnival that they usually port out of. This is the area that they leave from. And then we have Terminal number 3, which is now called Terminal 10, which is the big and beautiful new Royal Caribbean terminal. This is a beautiful terminal. What a sight to behold. And I have not been on it yet, that it is running very smoothly. I do have a question for you. Have any of you sailed out of Galveston right now, out of this brand new terminal, Terminal 10? And if you have, please let us know how it went for you down in the comments below. Now, getting to and from your cruise, it can be quite tricky. Remember, I stated that the total population for the island is just over 53,000, but when these large cruise ships are in port, and let's say 2 or 3 or 4 are in port, there can be tens of thousands of people coming in and leaving the port. So as we've stated in our previous videos, take a look. It is always a best practice to go at least a day before your cruise. Please do not hem yourself up in that situation where you're running or you're racing to get there. It's just not a good way to start off your cruise time. Just because of the congestion that can happen, just because of the massive amount of people. And remember, this island is not really that big. Galveston itself is a small town in Texas. So you want to give yourself as much time as you can to get into the place that you need to be, possibly stay a night or two and visit and see all of the wonderful food offerings and entertainment offerings that are there in Galveston. Book yourself a hotel, and we're going to talk about that shortly, and enjoy yourself. And there's also something that you need to watch out for that I'm going to give you at the very end as a bonus tip that I highly suggest you come in the day before so that you're not wrapped up in those crowds of traffic. And that just gives you a little bit of peace of mind that you're there the day before. You can start your party early and have no worries to get to that cruise ship on time. And similarly, leaving your cruise ship. I know so many people, well, you're in a rush to get home or you have to get home as quick as you can. So you book those early morning flights. Once again, I'm going to caution you that if you can push that time back, afternoon, after 2 is even better. It's just going to be a better scenario for you. So many times, because of this bonus that I'm going to tell you about at the end, you can be delayed. So we'll talk more about it. But the recommendation is not to book any flight before noon, definitely. And if you can, not even before 2 p.m. You've decided you're going to go ahead and take the advice and get your vacation started just a day or 2 early. So you come to Galveston a day before your cruise. And where do you stay? Well, that's a good question. And there's all different types of price points and room types available for you to stay in Galveston. When it comes to hotels in Galveston, there are plenty to choose from. So let's talk about the 2 different sides of town that you might possibly want to choose a hotel from. We're going to start with what's called the seawall. This is the area of Galveston directly adjacent to the beach. That's sort of like maybe a boardwalk area even. This has miles and miles and miles of hotels and shops and restaurants, and there's even a pleasure pier. This area is like a life-size carnival right on the water that has rides and food, and it's just so much fun for kids and for adults alike. So over here on this side of Galveston, there are hotels lined all up and down this sea wall area. And the prices range accordingly. You can find some economy lodgings for as low as $70 per night, and you can go up to the very high end and start your price points at $150, $80, and more per night. It all depends on what you are looking for, what type of accommodations. And if you are interested, I have created some videos about that, giving you maybe a look at a few options. And I'll also make sure to link those down in the description below so you can take another look at a couple of options that are located there on the Seawall Boulevard. Now, if you'd like to do a hotel that's a little bit closer to the harbor, the marina, we're going to go over to the other side of town, located directly across and adjacent to the pier, where you can open up your window and actually see the ships coming in. So over here on this side of town, there are also hotels and restaurants and lodgings. It's much more of an industrial area located directly right next to the pier to Galveston. These price points for these hotels are slightly higher. We're talking about maybe $200, $220, $250 a night for the rooms, and it certainly, I'm sure, has something to do with it's located just steps from the pier. You can actually leave your hotel room with your luggage and walk on across. So the convenience and being right there on the water, it is going to command a higher price point. But take a look. I'm going to leave some information for you down in the description below so you can take a look at some of the offerings of the hotels that are available there. Here is something else that I think is worth mentioning when it comes to the hotels that are there in Galveston. Some hotels do offer what they call hotel and cruise packages, meaning you can stay in the hotel and you can leave your vehicle there, and then they can either take you to and or pick you up from the cruise. I am going to leave this information right here. This is a list of some of the hotels that have this option. Now, some have where they can take you to the port and pick you up. Some have where you can leave your vehicle. Some have all of the above. So I thought this would be good information that you can go ahead and take a look at. Of course, stop the video at any time so that you can take a deeper look, but I'll also leave that information down in the description link below. We have usually stayed at a hotel that we were able to leave our vehicle there and they took us and picked us up. And one time we actually stayed at a hotel, well, it's probably more than once, where all that was included plus breakfast. So if you want to, you can really find a really good deal that's kind of all inclusive, that once you get there to that hotel, you're through with that hotel and they'll take you and pick you up, and that's excellent. So you can save the cost of the cruise pier parking depending on which hotel you stay at. I'll leave that information down in the description below. So here is the bonus that I wanted to leave you with. Something that happens very and quite frequently there in Galveston is a fog. And I looked it up, why it seems that so many times there's an issue with fog here in Galveston. And it just happens to do with the type of air moving over the ocean, the different temperatures of the air and the water, and it creates this fog. And this fog has and does sometimes delay cruises from coming into port or leaving port. And that fog sometimes doesn't burn off until late in the day. Now, the majority of cruising leaving out of Galveston is between 4 and 5 p.m. There are definitely exceptions, but sometimes that fog delays those cruise ships from coming in. This is just one more reason that you need to, of course, be aware. Once you book your cruise, you're going to download that cruise line app so you can stay up to date on any new things that come your way. And also make sure that you take a look at that weather there in Galveston, driving conditions, taking a look at the app, maybe even for Galveston itself, the city of Galveston, because often it does happen that there is fog, and the fog is so dense and so thick that your cruise ship could possibly be affected. Another reason why we really say not to book your departing flight until sometime afternoon for sure, and possibly not until after 2 p.m. Here is just a look at some of the things that I feel you definitely need to know if you're taking that cruise out of Galveston. And I know so many people are about to head down to the great state of Texas for the new offerings there with the Carnival Jubilee. And I know that so many of you are getting ready to travel to Galveston to get on one of the wonderful ships that are leaving out of this port, such as the Carnival Jubilee, the Carnival Miracle, the Norwegian Prima, the Disney Magic, and even the Royal Caribbean Icon of the Seas. We are rootin', tootin', and excited right here in Texas to celebrate cruising out of the 4th largest port in the United States. Can't wait to see you here. I hope that this has been an informative video that has gotten you prepared for what you can expect on your next cruise leaving out of the Port of Galveston. Tell me if you have any information that I've missed that you think needs to be mentioned here on this video. All right, thank you so much, Right Recipe for Travel family. Please don't forget, if you'd like to help us out at all, definitely subscribe to the channel and give us a like, and also ring that notification bell. It will alert you when our new videos are released. Thank you so much, Right Recipe for Travel family, and we'll catch you at the next adventure.